Hello, hello, and welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Narcissistic. I am your host, Dr. Yaya Marie, and we are going to have such a hot topic tonight because this is a topic that a lot of people are not even aware of. We're covering star stealing, destiny stealing, and also why do you seem to be a narcissist magnet? So first I would like to say hi, welcome to all my listeners on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're on YouTube listening, make sure you like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. I have not heard this topic as far as bringing it from an area of the spirit realm, star stealing, destiny stealing, how you can get back what the enemy has actually stole from you. First, let's say hi to the panel. Let's add everyone up. Hello, hello.
Hi, we're back.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. I hope everyone is doing well, and thank you so much for tuning in on another Wednesday. How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Good. What about you, Michael?
I feel a little worn thin, but everything's good, you know?
There. Okay. Okay. Well,
We'll get through it.
yes, we're gonna push through. So today I am covering, the topic is called being a chosen one and also a narcissist magnet. What does it mean when you're considered a chosen one and also a narcissist magnet? So with this, I'm just going to mute everyone. Oh wait, I mute. Let's see. With this scripture, we're going to go with tonight's scripture. We're going to go with many are invited, but few are chosen. Many are invited, but few are chosen. So this actually does say, because I've heard, oh, well, there's no such thing as chosen ones. We're all chosen. I mean, yes, technically, yes, that is true. But we can't argue with the word that says many are invited, but few are actually chosen. And then we also have John 15:16, where you did not choose me, but I chose you. So some ways that you know that you are a chosen one is, number one, you're having unfair, unjust persecution. For example, we're going to take Joseph. Joseph was chosen by God. He was set apart in Genesis, where he was chosen and his brothers were really envious. He had the dreams where he had a preview of his upcoming life. People were going to serve him, bow down to him. His brothers were his own blood was jealous. And what did they do? Sell him into slavery unjustly. But while in slavery, Joseph, what did he do? He gained favor from the Egyptians, from the prison officials. He had a character, he had a zeal about him, and he had a gift. Many people who they have gifts and things like that. They are chosen ones to execute whatever will that the Father has in his plans. So it's like you're playing a game of chess, and we are the little what is it, pawns, or little, what is, someone help me out, what is that called, like the little you can tell I'm not a game player.
No, in chess, pawns.
Pawns, right? Okay.
Yeah, they're the sacrificial lambs.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
So a lot of times when you are the chosen ones, you have your own family. I mean, can you imagine your brothers selling you into slavery?
Wow.
I can't imagine that. And you actually have to be around a culture that you don't necessarily know. You don't serve their gods. Can you imagine the culture shock? That's really heavy.
Yeah, I mean, what Joseph had to endure to get to the other side, to get to the blessing, it was just, it was obscene, being abandoned by his family.
Yes.
And then, living through prison. I think it was like 10 years of prison.
Yep. Yep. And then also we have, but he was chosen, and the Most High actually gave him a preview while he was, young, and he had the dreams of his upcome of his future. Then we also have King David. He was another chosen one. When Samuel came to him, he looked right over David, because David didn't have the look that Samuel thought that God would call. David was, how do they describe him? The little Rudy boy.
Hmm.
Samuel was looking at his brothers, which were tall and, they looked like kings. But God said, no, take that one, because it's about the heart. The heart of a man or woman is what God looks at. It's
Wow.
not about the outward appearance. And even Samuel the prophet was caught off guard. Like, wait, you
Mm.
want that one?
The meek one.
Yeah, he wanted that one. That is the one that, and Samuel thought it was the older brothers who were strong and, good looking. But God told him, to Samuel, don't judge the outward appearance,
Wow.
because he looks at the heart. Okay,
Right.
so a lot of times when you're a chosen one, you do get persecuted. Some people are like, why her? Why him?
Mm.
It's not for them to know.
Mm.
Okay. With that being said, also,
But that also invites great envy too from others when they
definitely
see that you're
so.
chosen.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. Also, there may also come with, being a chosen one is somewhat of a lonely road. And I really do feel that's why a lot of the chosen ones get hooked up with a narcissist, because we are, a lot of times, isolated. What do you think about that? And if anyone likes to come up and talk, you can actually just hit that link, and you're invited to just come up, and just turn your camera off when you do.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to that. I was the youngest of I have a big family, so there's like six of us total, but I was the youngest boy. And so there's a lot that you have to prove when you're the youngest boy. And it just my road has always been like a bit isolated, set apart from everyone else.
What about you, Demi?
I was just saying, I'm just the opposite. I was the eldest out of
Mm,
two, so I was the one looked at to be the one to take charge and to be the one to take over if something happened. I was
gotcha.
the one to look after my sibling who since passed away 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, knowing that she wasn't capable of taking care of herself. I was the one you be able to take care of her when we pass on. So
Mm.
that was already
Do you think
focused.
that led you, or is you can still be isolated? Do you think
Oh
you're
yeah,
isolated?
yes, for sure,
Gotcha.
because I knew everything that I had to know. You're fine, you're good. So let's
Hmm.
just concentrate on her and help her
Gotcha.
be a better person.
Now, this is the part where this was such a deep revelation to me. And I hope when I explain this, I hope that everyone is understanding what I'm going to say. Because now we're going to get into the spirit realm, and we're going to deal with something called star stealing. Oh, wait, let's see if Chris wanted to say anything. I'm going to add Chris to the stream. Let's see. Hi, Chris.
Hi, how are
Is
you?
that
Can you
right?
hear me?
Hi, how are you?
Hey,
Hi.
girl. How's it going? That's
Good,
cool.
good. Would you
I'm,
like
um,
to chime in?
I did. I just wanted to first of all leave with saying I'm excited to be a part of this. This is the first time ever that I have even tried to participate in anything like this, but you guys definitely bring a discussion to the table that I need a lot more information about, and I might also have some pointers or tips or some things that are out there for other people that are going through the same exact things. So I
Yeah.
really am just here to listen. I
Oh,
appreciate you guys.
oh, thank you. Thank you for coming up, and keep listening. Keep listening.
You got it.
Alrighty. I'm gonna keep you here and just put on mute. Alrighty. Now, with that being said, when you're a chosen one, um, a lot of things, you're persecuted a lot unjustly and unfairly. This is not the same as generational curses coming at you. Why? Because when you're dealing with something coming from God, he will isolate you himself. This is not the same as Satan or the enemy isolating you for his plans. When you're a chosen one, you're isolated for the plans of God. When it's a generational curse thing, you have the devil having a legal access, a legal right to do whatever it is that he's, implementing in your life. So I just want to make that clear. This is not the same as a generational curse or a generational thing like we talked about a week or two ago, or maybe last week. Okay, so when you're a chosen one and you're dealing with persecution, that is not the same as you've been rejected all your life from Satan and Satan is doing those things. No, that's different. Okay, now with that being said, in the spirit realm, being a chosen one, it's like you have a highlighter. Like, you know how you highlight words on a page when you're reading? Being a chosen one, you're highlighted in the spirit realm. How do I know this? How? Tell me how. Because when the Messiah was born, the three wise men came to see him, to worship him. Soon as they got to Bethlehem, what did they say? They said, "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose, and we come to worship him." These three men saw their star, saw the Messiah's star, and came to worship. They saw in the spirit realm the brightness of his star and came to worship. They saw his shine, his destiny. They saw this from thousands of miles away. Came up to worship him on a camel. Rode on a camel for days because they saw his star. And when you're talking about your star, you're thinking about your purpose and your destiny. So when the three wise men said, "Hey, and this is in Matthew, where is the born king of the Jews? We saw his star. We saw it." How they're seeing in the spirit realm. Isn't that fascinating? Or am I the only one that's like, "Oh my gosh"? Anyone want to chime in?
No, absolutely. I mean, like, it's very powerful stuff that's going on there, and like, the three wise men, having that vision to see Christ's destiny and to see his future. Because that's the other thing too, is it's not just like the spirit realm. You can see the moment, the past, and then what's to come. So it's very powerful stuff.
Definitely. I mean, they saw his star shine. I mean, the brightness of his star had to be, I mean, what? I can't even explain it. So with that being said, on the other side, because we know there's a kingdom of light, there's also a kingdom of darkness. We cannot forget that. If Satan cannot kill you, he will delay and disrupt your path. He will see your star also. Just like the three wise men, they saw the Messiah's star. Satan can see your star too. And what would he do? Try to steal your star, dim your star, delay the purpose that's in that star. And did you know that a witch or somebody in the occult could replace your star with an inferior star? I mean, this sounds far-fetched, but this is real. This is real, and you see it all the time. For example, when if you have a student or a kid or a neighborhood kid, you always see like he's a good A student. I mean, never in trouble, on a direct path, knows what he wants to do in life, in college and things like that. And all of a sudden, something happens where there's a change in that kid that cannot be explained. He's despondent. He gets disrespectful. He doesn't show the same interest in things that he used to. Well, what happened? Even the parents were like, I don't know what happened to this kid. And a lot of times, this is why you have to stay prayed up, because how in the world are these people of the occult? How can they do this? They do it by word cursing. They do it by, their own animal sacrifices. Did you know Pharaoh was a star hunter?
Wow.
Pharaoh was how? Remember, he sent out a decree to kill all the baby boys.
Firstborn, that's right.
Remember that? He saw their star.
Wow. Someone is a threat to them.
Right. And who he was coming for, what was he? He was coming for Moses, right?
Right.
He was, yeah. He was afraid that there was going to be someone that would usurp his power.
Exactly.
Yep.
Wow.
And Pharaoh was a star hunter. What did he do? He panicked and said, kill them all. This one can't be born. Because he saw in the spirit realm who was about to be born.
Yeah, because he thought he was God. He wanted to be God. He wanted to be the one on the throne to control everything, and everybody else subside to him and do all these things for him.
Well, Pharaoh
was correct. So
yeah, in his own right, he was their God. I don't mean he wasn't
exactly. That's how the narcissist thinks too. I mean, they want someone to bow down to them. Like, you're gonna be the one that you're gonna be my puppet, sort of
right.
thing.
And that's a perfect segue, because just how Pharaoh was a star hunter. Think about how in your own life, a lot of us have a star. I mean, all of us have a star. That's no doubt. Some of us have more than one star. And this is all biblical. I can't get into it right here on this channel, but this is all broken down biblically. Some of us have, a lot of stars. Some of them have, one big bright one. When you're seeing in the spirit realm and a narcissist or a toxic person, a demon, they're already in the spirit realm. We're the ones in the flesh. So when you're thinking about how they see you, just know that they see your star. They see your light, and they want to destroy that. This is why sometimes if Satan can't get you to murder someone, he can't get you to rob or steal or, do one of those type of acts, but he can swindle you into loving a narcissist, into loving a toxic person, into loving someone who will throw you off your path, who will delay your destiny. What do you think about that, Chris?
Oh my goodness. I want to say, first of all, I don't know how many people that they may have listening, but sometimes I've been doing a lot of self-work, and I've noticed that a lot of times people use the word light or people use the word star, but I never hear anyone put characteristics to that particular analogy. Like, what does that mean for people to know that they have a light? Now, mind you, most of us that come like this, we realize it. And until you educate yourself, you're not absolutely sure, but you know it's something different. But just for purposes of not misunderstanding or getting it, completely twisted, what does that mean when you say that they can see your light? What characteristics go along with someone seeing in you what your light is, just in case people don't understand that?
Okay, were you here for the part, because I know you dropped off a little bit earlier. We're thinking about when the three wise men, when they came to see the Messiah, right, they saw him by his star. Now, when you're thinking about your star, the characteristics would be your destiny, your purpose, which is why also where Pharaoh wanted to kill off all of the... Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. That was my son.
Oh, okay.
I'm a mother of 6. I'm sorry. I have a lot going on.
Okay. So also with Pharaoh, why would he want to go out and kill Moses if there was nothing there, if he wasn't threatened by Moses?
Yeah, you're correct. I do understand that part, but is there a point, like as in, I can say in my adult life, where I can recognize that somebody sees, or is this just completely just a supernatural thing that some people do willingly or unwillingly, like as in subconsciously or because they know what they're doing? Is there something like that?
Are you talking about does the narcissist actually know? Do they
Yeah,
have
do some of them aware that
oh,
they're doing
definitely.
this, or is this something that a few of them come with and don't understand what they're doing? They're just doing.
I would say it could be a combination of both. I don't see why that would be wrong.
Okay,
Anybody else want to chime in?
I feel like they see the light, and that's the whole purpose, right? I mean, because like, they want someone that's going to protect them, that's going to be, a helper for them, that's going to have integrity, and cover them, cover their insecurities, and cover their lack of light. So they, like, in a way, like it's like the parable of the bridegrooms, basically like having less light. So some of them were so with vanity, they came thinking that they were the most glamorous, but they didn't bring enough lamp oil to make it through the night. And so when the groom arrives, he doesn't see them. And so, like, what do? They try to steal the lamp oil from those that came prepared. And I think that's what those who covet and those who are narcissists are doing, is they're taking that glory, they're taking that destiny, and they're trapping it so that they can tap into it.
I concur. I mean, I think that they're more conscious of what they do than subconscious, because they want to manipulate and control this individual who seems meek and domineering to their whole persona. So they get off on that. That's their thing. So I really believe, aside from spiritually, that they're conscious of it.
Yes, I do believe that also, because you have to think a lot of narcissists you meet are actually, a lot of them are really jealous.
Oh yes,
They're really
the ones
jealous.
that
I
I've
mean,
met and dealt with, ultimately, when I'm in the relationship, I have said this to the one. I think I believe that you're jealous because it was a competitive thing.
mhm,
How did you get that job? I should have got that. How did
right,
you know? How do you know that? Where do you know that from? Like, even
right,
the things that you research as an individual and seeking knowledge, you kind of have a conversation. It's like, well, where did you know that? They kind of make you feel like you're not supposed to know certain things, or kind of be behind their whole identity, because they're trying to learn and take from everybody else, and then
right,
that's true.
give on this fake persona that, wait, you can't know too much because I'm still trying to learn this from you.
right. They always have to be top dog. Let's just be real.
Right,
They
right.
they always have to be the one
They're
to
conscious of it.
right, and they are aware, because
Uh-huh.
I know for me, I don't have pity on a narcissist. um, the Most High dealt with me about having pity on a demon. And I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson, and it won't happen. Do I think a narcissist can change? I'm from the concept that
No,
I believe not. Um,
they
I'm
should
just going to
know.
be real. I'm just going. Hey, you guys could do a miracle, but I truly believe that, just like how in the Bible, where Saul was supposed to kill all those Amalekites and get away from, saying, for instance, Sodom and Gomorrah, leave Sodom. They're not going to change, so you have to leave. Okay, so
Right,
it's
and don't look back or you'll turn to salt.
I
right,
am currently living that exact situation, and that is insane for me to even fathom it that way. And I don't mean to interject in such a way, but
mhm,
I'm facing the issue of noticing that every relationship I have ever been placed with it has been with a type of narcissist. I have dealt with the covert narc, the
Yeah.
abusive narc, the everyone. And this one in particular, I feel like it's the biggest and baddest of who the enemy have for me, and
Yeah.
God equipping me with so much information that now you can't hide from me. So it's making you uncomfortable. And
Yeah.
now
This
I'm
is
the
why I love
problem.
this channel because we can study the medical terms and the psych terms and the psychologist. That's awesome to do. We need that knowledge. But also you have to think about, wait a minute, why is it that these people can try to get help, but they don't think they have a problem, so they don't go get diagnosed? And every time I go to therapists and they're telling me, oh, well, you have to this is how you live with the narcissist. I'm like, well, what do you mean? They can't change? Why do I have to change to tolerate this person?
Mm.
That it seemed off to me. So that is why I did go more into this is what I do. I go into the spiritual realm because I am from the camp that believes this is a spiritual matter. Yes, it's awesome. The
Exactly.
psychological terms and things like that, the knowledge. You
Right.
have to have that knowledge.
You can't always say, why do I keep meeting the same person? What is it about me that's attracting this person? And then wait a minute, that's the way the
Mhm.
therapist wants you to think. And
Yeah,
then when you turn it around and you think about, wait a minute, I can't be this bad
right.
where I'm attracting this person because these people are doing all this harm to me. I was sick in a relationship, physically sick. And
Wow.
the
And we talked
doctor
about
told
that
me
mystery
that he
illnesses
was
too.
right. He told me I was allergic to this person.
What? Wait a
I'm like,
minute.
what do you mean allergic? Or he has these. Some people have these. What do they? How do he put it? Their immune system that is so strong
Get
that
out of here.
whenever they get sick, they kind of just give it. They give their illnesses to the other person that's not as ill. Wait a minute, that's some hogwash. After years of wait a minute, being with this person, I'm not forbid. I haven't been sick like that since I left this person for years. I used to get like
Wow.
tonsillitis. I'm like, what? Like you get the white specks on your tonsils. Like
My
I would
goodness.
get bedridden from sickness, physically sick, where I could not get out the bed with a cold for a week.
No. Oh my goodness.
Like it was crazy. My mom was like, What's wrong with you?" Like, and since the relationship has been gone for years, I have not gotten sick like that. So your emotions plays a big part in your physical. And that's a fact. If you're constantly being bombarded with emotional abuse, your body will say enough. Enough. That is a fact of the supernatural things that doctors cannot explain. They'll just say, "Oh,
What is it? It's like somatic illnesses and
yes."
yeah,
That
there's
could be
actually a
another
term
show.
for it.
I'm sure people have comments on that because that could be another show.
Oh yeah, we talked about it. I remember Michael saying things about it and you saying things about it, and it's actually a term for that.
Yeah.
For yeah,
So it's not just we're magnet. It's like when you talk about the light, they will dim your light because they suck so much energy out of you. They take and take, and you're so busy guarding, and you're bombarded with thoughts of how do I maneuver in love and life with this person, and you forget about you as the individual.
and I can tell you right now that the feeling is not mutual with the narcissist.
No.
Number one, you can just be doing the absolute most. I mean, you love this person, and
Yes.
that's why it's so hard to recover because your love was real. You were genuine. You
Right.
did what you're supposed to do. You're level headed. You're doing what you're supposed to do while you're with a person in a relationship, not knowing that you're being manipulated.
I
You're
know
being
you.
gaslit.
Yeah. not knowing you're the target, let
Yes.
alone the magnet, or magnet equals target to me.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And anyone else want to chime in? What about you, Michael? Any thoughts on that?
But yeah, I mean, like it's all there. I mean, the siphoning the energy, causing illness, and I think that there's like sort of an intersection that takes place, like as you're exiting the generational familiar curse, where God really takes you under His wing and puts you into a state of isolation, to prepare you for the blessings that were stolen. And I
Def-
think that that's a mistake that can easily be made because, and I'm speaking specifically from my own personal experience, especially right now, is that like I recognize that like there is a part of me that like desires like some sort of more connection. I mean, like I'm pretty much spending, like, I would say, like most of my time just alone,
Mhm.
filling it with prayer, meditation, and everything that I can do to be positive, to see myself through it. And I'm not alone because God is right here. And so as I feel these like strange things happening, I'm very resolved to know that whatever happens next, I'm on a course correct, and I'm going back to that place where I
Yes.
was meant to be,
Right.
where I was derailed from.
Yes, that's why I always pray that prayer of restoration, because it's so many people that are hurting from narcissistic abuse that it's insane. And the numbers are growing. This is not something that's, a buzzword, or it's just like, oh, let's all talk about narcissists because, everybody's talking about. No, this is something that is growing, and it's a problem that needs to be addressed from all areas. And we want to get people in therapy. We want people to know the actual terms and things like that. And at the same time, there comes a moment where, at least for me, I had to say, wait, if you're born into family of narcissists, I go to work, they're there on the job, and then you're on the phone or you're getting to know someone, they're also a narcissist. I mean, what is going on? So it wasn't until, with my studies, I'm like, okay, there's more to it. And we need to talk about it.
Well,
And
what is done in the dark must be brought to the light, and I think that you got to look at blessings and curses. Like, so the pandemic was, it uprooted all our lives, and
yeah.
it changed our perception on everything. And one of the things it also did is it forced the family back into the home,
Hmm.
and it brought like a realization to everyone that where people could hide, the masks that they would wear, like go to work and hide, go out with friends and hide. No, you have to be there and then see each other for who you are, and see if in this like life-changing moment that's really about life or death, if the person that you're with is there to be your equal and to support you through it. And it created such an upheaval
Hmm.
that it caused like a mass exodus, where people were leaving jobs, where people were leaving relationships, where people were leaving where they are. And so I see that in all these things there's something positive that's coming out, and I think that the more awareness that's being raised about this, the
For
better we will be as a society, because like we live in a society where people like are basically groomed to not express their feelings.
right.
And that's specifically true for the masculine, for men. Like, it's just like you have to be the strong silent type, you can't feel. um so
Definitely true. Definitely true. Now, when we're thinking about, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to interject something in there for during the pandemic for me, because I was single at the time.
Hmm.
This was a time where I had to deal with myself. A lot of people's conversations, because they are partnered with another, right? They come with the notion of, okay, now I have to deal with another person. But for me, it came down to, excuse me, how I was going to sit in my own thoughts and what I was actually thinking about at the time. And funny enough, it was for me, it was time for my awakening. God started putting so many things on my brain that I
Mhm.
actually had time. Like I said, I'm a mother of six. I had, at the time, I had five children. I have, my son is 3 months, so I just had another baby. But at that particular time, what he was putting on my brain were so many far-fetched notions that if it would have been somebody else, they would think like, "Are you going crazy? Is this crazy? You are crazy." Like my kids will walk in the room, my sisters will walk in the room, like, "What are you watching? What do you
Mhm.
have going on?" And the whole time, God is preparing me and He's teaching me, but He's doing it because I have an empathic spirit.
Mhm.
I constantly deal with so much other things in the day other than myself that I would not have even thought about taking the time to do it if the pandemic wouldn't have happened. Like if I wouldn't have had to be forced to just stay. And mind you, I had a severe upper respiratory infection almost 4 times in that 2 years.
Wow.
So I
That
was
was
out of work.
during the pandemic.
Yes, I work at Walmart. I was a manager at Walmart. So, that was one of the places. Walmart is not shutting down and they don't care if
Right.
you
That's
they
right.
don't
Okay.
care. And I had contracted COVID so many times that I was forced to sit inside and do the work with myself because, of course, you think that maybe you might die. The
Mhm.
devil start putting all kinds of notions in your head,
Yeah.
and
Do
you
you
have to
guys
combat
remember that
them.
when people were seeing like actually like aliens and demons and things
Yes,
like that? Do y'all remember that
I
during
do,
the pandemic?
I think so. Yeah.
because
There,
you have to
Yeah,
see it
it was
now.
real.
You
Yeah,
can't
I remember
unsee
that.
it.
remember
You
that,
have to
right?
see it. And that's become the craziest thing for me. That statement is, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Mhm.
Meaning, once I hear it, I cannot keep acting like it doesn't exist. I can't keep acting like this isn't a thing. I can't keep acting like, you know what I'm saying, it's not
Yeah.
what it is. And that was the whole faith thing for me, where I had to trust that even though my family thinks I'm weird, my kids think I'm weird, everybody think I'm
There's
tripping
the
because
light.
I'm
That's
seeing
the
something
light.
that everybody else is
That's
not
your light
seeing.
right there.
And that's the chosen
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
mentality for me, because guess what? I have to be okay with the fact now my kids know I get a little weird. I have to be okay with the fact now that I have two answers for everything. You want the life answer or you want the real answer? And this is my spirituality talking and my personal self talking, my physical self talking. Because a lot of people are always looking for that one answer for the physical self. But when you start seeing everything in the spirit, it makes it very difficult. It makes it very difficult to have relationships with people, family, and friends, because you see everything. And
Wow.
that's where I am right now, because I can't unsee it. I can't act like it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's definitely true because once there comes a point where I know, at least for me, I mean, we're supposed to walk in the spirit anyway, right? Remember, that's a whole Bible verse. So when you're talking about, we're thinking spiritually. So of course we have the textbook knowledge of whatever you're trying to learn, but let's think about this spiritually. So yes, I definitely understand exactly what you're saying. Anyone else before I keep going? No, anyone?
No, you're on a roll. You should go with it.
Okay, alrighty. So, back to the star stealing, which is when you're thinking about your star, you're thinking about your destiny, your purpose, your what you are to be and do in this earthly realm. So we have the Messiah being born, and then you have the three wise men who came to see the Messiah because they saw his star, which was his light, which held his purpose and destiny, figuratively in that moment. So when you're thinking about star stealing and people coming and stealing your destiny, exchanging your destiny, this goes into also, and I speak a lot about this on my other channel, Kingdom Keys Teaching, soul fragmentation, which is a term for um, trauma. Let's say trauma. So everybody has, bad days or things they're going through. But when you're thinking about a traumatic experience, a piece of your soul is affected. A piece of your soul is,
That is
uh,
so powerful.
thank you. I'm telling you this. When I thought about, I'm writing these notes, and I said, I just hope and pray. Mind you, this was not the show that I was going to do tonight, but I'm just following the spirit.
So if I may say something, like so I'm Native American, and so like, the in some traditions, like they would talk about this, and they would talk about how, like, in these moments, like when you have trauma, your soul is torn from you in that moment. And so they talk about, like, in these moments, like, one of the things to do is to revisit that place of trauma and rejoin or reconnect with that part of yourself that's lost. Because, like, if this happens too many times, where you have too many tears in your spirit,
Yep.
you start to become very fragile.
Yep, exactly where I was going. Because think about, this is how it was. Think about where a hole puncher with a piece of paper. And every time you have a trauma, you punch a hole until, there's so many traumas where the whole page is full of holes. And what replaces those holes? Unless you pray and cover yourself with the blood, what replaces those holes? You have Satan replacing his thoughts and theories. You have outside people inserting their beliefs onto you. You have things of this world, um, you know, getting into your spirit and soul and affecting how you act toward people.
Oh, now, yes.
You see, that is a soul fragmentation. And what was it with the narcissist? That narcissist was
Wow.
used
Wow.
to cause a
You said it.
trauma,
Come on now.
cause a fragment. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I don't want to make anyone cry. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
What's vulnerable. They know when you're at
Yeah.
your vulnerable stand in your life.
All right, now listen. Here's why. Listen, I just
My
pray.
goodness.
Ooh, thank you, Father.
My goodness.
You have to protect your children from
Yes.
these soul fragmentations because they come in very early.
Oh my goodness.
You get the trauma. Satan wants to get them traumatized
Wow.
and put the holes in their little souls
Yes.
early. Because once you grow up with these traumas, aka fragments of your soul missing, it's
They
yeah.
replace it
So
with
Yes.
oh,
lady, just
That's-
imagine, as a mother of 6 children,
mm, mm, mm.
the types of individuals that I see, maybe, and it's funny that I use this terminology with myself, narking. When they start narking,
Yeah.
I have to focus on what kid they're focused on. I have to pay attention to what's going on in the dynamic of how this man reacts to my children and what kind of reaction is he causing to them. Because if he narking on me, he's narking on
Oh
them.
yes.
So my defense, as getting older, I'm a 38-year-old female. My defense is at a point where now my argument is unseen because people don't see it exist. So now I'm the I love Lucy of the crew. I'm just crazy. I'm just making up things. I'm just,
And you're
you know,
not.
this
This is
kind of
what they
thing.
tell you as a gaslighting
Yes,
tactic to
yes.
make it seem like, okay, yeah, I am, but at least this, this,
Right.
you're not
It-
crazy. It's them.
I'm not crazy.
Right.
I am not crazy. And this is, I thank God today. I, s- I put my hands in the air. I swear to you, I have never in my life done anything like this. As far as joining a part of anything, even doing the footwork to make sure I show up, to make sure that I am present for whatever this lady has to say to me. I
Yeah.
promise you, I had no idea that this is what I would be doing right here, right now. Because earlier today, I was hit with emotional abuse to the point where I had to make the decision, you know what, I just gotta go.
Yeah.
And I was stuck because, and this is definitely not on what you were talking about, but because I
Go
know
ahead.
it's 4 of us here and this is a spiritual
Yeah,
channel.
go ahead.
So
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I did not think that other people understood how I felt. because I thought that I was seeing something that I wasn't seeing. I can see your moves. I can
Yeah.
see your mannerisms. I can read your mind. I know how you feel. I know what you don't say. I know what you do say. I know for a fact that I'm settling, but because I come with 6, I don't know. I don't know.
Has
So he
anyone
put me.
also? Mhm, go ahead. I'm
He
sorry.
just put me in a situation to get the information that I needed, because the other part is I have to do the work. But for me to feel so lost and by myself because I didn't know, to hear y'all speak about this, I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking I was going crazy.
You're
Narcissistic abuse.
Chris, you're not alone,
I was
and
thinking I got tears in my eyes right now because I can't tell nobody that I see the demons on people. I
Mm-hmm.
you
can't tell anybody that I know what I know, because who they think I am is not who I am.
see you have to be able to somehow set up a barrier or a boundary there, because like when the Bible talks about seeing with one eye, right? So you're seeing like the spirit realm and the physical realm at the same time.
Yes.
And so when that happens, you can ask for a break. You can just ask for a pause, and it'll happen. And like I think that's very important for you right now, because it's very important for you to, first of all, are you okay, and are your kids okay? Are you guys safe?
Yes, we are fine. This is something that nobody knows but me, because I'm the only one that can see it. So I look
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. You're
My
not crazy.
family don't think nothing is wrong, but this is
Not
all
crazy.
wrong.
Not crazy at
So
all.
in Revelations, what does Christ do? He puts a seal on the head of protection to the chosen ones.
Right.
So I I would suggest to you, because I've done this myself, just to like just tap your head and just say stop for just a time, okay? And if you have faith in it, you will have a break from it, because there's a threshold there that you need a barrier for, because if you're seeing all of that and feeling all that, now that's like it can be problematic, because
Yes, it's bad.
that means that you not only see the narc for what the narc is, but you feel the emotions in the narc. So then
Yes.
you know when the narc is twisting,
Definitely.
That's when
right?
he start narking. I call it
That's
narco
when he starts
polo.
narking, right? Narco polo. So
I
in,
like
in that
that.
in that moment, when he's going narco polo, just recognize that, like, you have to be able to say, this is you and this is me,
This is
right?
this is something that I do, but it might come off as, because I do get frustrated, so it'll come off as that's manipulation, that's deflection, that's projection, that's you gaslight me,
But
and
you know what? You have to play it cool, because I'm taking it that you guys live together,
yeah,
and we know that narcissists are very diabolical. So you keep your information inside. You don't go say just don't ruffle any feathers, and you make your plans to yourself, because you never know what this person may do. And I'm thinking about. I talk to so many people, and when they're trying to exit, and the narcissist knows,
it
and
makes it
that's
difficult.
when, right, well, doesn't make it difficult. Some of them end up in the hospital,
Uh,
because the narcissist doesn't want to lose their supply. And when you're dealing with the narcissist, they have to be the ones to discard, not the other party. So you play your cards right, and you don't just play it smart. Just don't get in anyone's face, or try to, whatever they throwing at you, just try to take it. It's hard. I know it's hard. Just try to take it and plan your next moves whenever that may be.
There's
this is
a
this is
Go
true.
ahead.
This is true. Go. No, I'm sorry. I'm done.
No, there's a parable, right? And so there's
I love these.
and just bear with me. It's about like not engaging a fool. But so there's a
Right.
there's a donkey, right, that like is going around telling everyone that the grass is blue. And he finally comes to the tiger, and the tiger is like, listen, man, the grass is green. And so then the donkey and the tiger go before the lion, the king, and the lion takes one look at the tiger and he says, I'm sentencing you to 5 years in prison. And then the donkey walks away all proud of himself. And the tiger's like, but king, the the grass is green. And he says, yeah, I know that, and you know that. The mistake was you spent too much time arguing with someone where you
Wow.
knew you were right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so that's why he gets punished by putting 5 years in prison, because he was putting the time into that person. So like, you've put enough time into the person, it's time to like to figure out your exit
Wow.
Yeah.
and not feed it.
Yeah. That's your
Oh,
goal.
what about the pigs? The pigs with the pearls? Don't throw your pearls to the swine. What about that verse? That just reminded me of that. So
No, for sure. I mean, that's like it's the same thing. Like, you know, it's like,
yeah, it just reminded me of that.
I've never
oh
heard
man.
that one, guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, it's just every time, when you're talk, you just go, you interject and then just put yourself back on mute.
Wow.
Anyone else? When we're dealing with soul fragmentation, it's so important because you have to think people in the occult, they know all of this.
Can
Why? Go ahead.
can I share like a brief story? Like
Yes.
I'll try to be
Go
quick.
ahead.
So
And I need to get some water, so go ahead. Let me.
okay, good. I'll give you your water break because I might be a little longer. So I kind of had my own awakening like in the 2014, 2015 period. And I recognized that our things carry energy. And so I woke up one morning and I just decided that I was going to drive back to my childhood home. And I mean, call me kooky, but it's the Native American part of me. But like, I'm very led by like birds. So
Right.
cardinals and crows, like really like
Yes.
I feel kind of protected by them. And so as I was leaving to go, I brought a friend with me, and there was a cardinal at the edge of my yard, and it flew off with us. So I go home. My mom didn't recognize me. It had been quite some time since we had seen each other. We parted on bad terms. My father was a narcissist and abusive, and I was the one calling him out. And so I was the scapegoat, so I was pushed out.
Right.
So so I came home and I asked to collect my things, and I was very calm about it. And my mom mentioned how good my memory was as I was pointing things out where they were in our childhood home. And my friend was like, later he was like, it's so crazy that she doesn't believe you with what had happened. So anyways, like I saw my father and I shook his hand, and I didn't want to shake him with my right hand. I shook him with my left hand. And he was all kind when he saw me the first time. And then in my room, he came back in confrontational, and he was like, what are you doing shaking me with your left hand? What is that all about? And I just kind of just was like, listen, I shook your hand, I'm just here to get my things. And then he left the room. And then the third time he came in the room, he came in extremely confrontational. It was like the mask completely slipped off. And he started to like really come at me about like what I believed, what I was saying, and how it couldn't be true, and how it was my grandfather, not him. So there was this like admittance that like it happened, but it couldn't have been him. And I was finally like, listen, I was like, everybody's tired. I'm just going to leave with my stuff. And I said, can I please just go for a walk along the trail? I had a lot of good memories in this trail behind my house because it was away from the house. And he's like, well, there's a lot of ticks out there, so watch out. And so like, I wasn't too worried about it. I went about as far as I could. It was overgrown. And as I got to the end of the trail, I saw a cardinal. And so the cardinal flew back from whence I came. And I was like, all right, we're done here. And as I'm walking back, sure as anything, I picked like 2 or 3 ticks off of me. And yeah, so there's something there for sure.
Wow.
But so I bring it up because you keep talking about like the soul, the soul retrieval, or like the tether, the breaks, the tears. And like, I specifically didn't want what I consider to be like a Goliath to have my things anymore.
Gotcha. Wow. Oh,
Wow.
I just had a revelation. Yeah.
I love these stories.
Oh my goodness, because you just,
Yes.
I just
I
had a
needed this. Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
What was your revelation?
Well,
goodness. Well, go ahead, Chris.
I would All right, guys. So I know that you guys are new to, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with each other, but I know that I am somebody that has just been introduced to you
Yeah,
here.
I
But
know the piano.
my
Not
my
you,
issue
girl.
my issue is one of the most wildest ones because it's one of the ones I think that fall into the category of people that won't admit that they're like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
People who will not own their crap 100% to admit that they come this way. Meaning that when I see certain narcissistic traits and things that people come with and things that they do, instead of me seeing a red flag, understanding the red flag, having knowledge about said red flag, and all of this about red flags, it's carnival because I'm narking on an empathic level. Meaning I want to challenge it. I want to try to beat it just because I know that it's forbidden.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Been there, been
So
there, been there.
for me,
They wouldn't acknowledge that because they don't want
they
their
wouldn't.
lawyers.
That's why I know that a lot of women don't put out that content
Right.
because that would cause you to have to tell on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I see the red flag and I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it. I see everything that's bad about it. And because I feel like I'm so great within myself because of who I am, I
Right.
know
For
I
the
can
light.
withstand it.
For the
I
light.
know I could take it on. I could let you beat me up and I know I'll still walk away okay.
but
You
you also have to
But I
think.
want to take the challenge for what reason? And that's the part that I'm figuring out these days is the reason why I'm purposely taking these chances instead of understanding these things as cheat codes.
I have an
I want
answer
to play
for
the
you.
game.
I have an
Let me
answer
get
for
it.
you.
Let me get it.
Okay, so let's talk about the love bomb. When
Right.
you're dealing with someone who is a narcissist and you know the pattern of behavior, you may know their past or heard of it. You may have looked up their past, maybe through Facebook pages or even criminal records. I don't know. But you just know that they're a questionable person.
Yes.
And you do see that they treat you different.
Yes.
And why is that? It's because of the love bomb. Love bombing isn't just, what it says, on paper. It's a manipulation tactic.
But until you don't know. That's the crazy part. And now that I know it, I can't unsee it. And it's like, wait a minute.
But you do know now, you do know because you can tell you're being love bombed if think about the time span. That time span when you're being love bombed, it happens fast. Right when you're meeting someone, you're being love bombed. I mean, you haven't even had a chance to, you don't barely know the person's last name.
And you're being love bombed.
And
It
you're
was.
being love
It was
bombed.
presented in such a way that I have been dealt so many. I love you, son. Thank you. I have been dealt so many crappy hands throughout the years that this particular situation is disguised in everything I need and want, except for God and emotional connection. And I have to make a choice whether I want to choose a lifestyle or whether I want to follow God.
Well, you
And
have to
that's
think
crazy.
that whenever you follow, listen here, whenever you follow God, what all your needs will be met. You
That's
will
a
have
fact.
the right person.
That's a
You
fact.
don't have to worry about a narcissist, someone faking. You don't have to worry about all of that. But you have to trust him and you have to make a decision, which the decision to follow God is I'm going to do it. I don't
Right.
care how long it takes, whatever.
Right.
But
Right.
I'm not going to be love bombed. I'm not going to be manipulated
I'm
anymore.
not. I
My
can't.
time is precious. We don't know how much time we
And
got on
they're
this
blocking
earth.
the blessing. They the ones blocking the
Right.
blessing.
And Donna Freeman, she says, as a super empath, I self isolate. I work, go to the grocery store, etc. But as far as hanging out and socializing, hardly ever. And a lot of
Was
I
there.
haven't,
I was
yeah,
there.
I haven't really talked about the super empath on this show, but you know, maybe I should, you know.
You definitely should, because
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that's a big deal.
extremely difficult to have to make,
Yes.
because this is in essence to me what it is. It's
Yeah.
every person you come in contact with, you have to make a decision whether you're going to be real or fake with that person.
Right.
So
But that's the thing. You don't have to,
everybody,
regardless of the name, empath, super empath, supernova empath. Because you know, I know the terms, but regardless of the name, the message is the narcissist has a spirit behind them
Mm.
that is toxic, that's demonic. It doesn't matter if you're not even an empath. Get away from them.
you're
Mm.
right.
Get
You're
away. It doesn't matter the term. You don't have to learn lessons to deal with them. Don't deal with them. They're not going to change.
Yeah. That's anybody, even a relationship, on the job, anywhere.
Can
Friendships, forming friendship. I gave you guys the example of that one friendship. I barely talk to the person anymore. Like, it's, you have to learn how to step back and say, "Whoa, now that I know, you
Mhm.
won't get me that way again."
okay.
So
Can
I have a couple things to say, if that's okay. Like,
I,
when you were saying that, like, you know, like you have to go like either God's way or where you are, you know, it's like the lifestyle. Listen, like Jonah had a choice. God kept saying go this way, and Jonah kept going the opposite way, and Jonah ended up in the belly of a beast because of it.
Hello.
So it's like the thing that we don't understand is the course correct can be very painful, and we're kind of feel lost. I mean, it's just like Moses bringing everybody into the wilderness. Everybody forgot all the blessings and the sea parting and everything to get them where they are. And then, like, so like you have to go through that period. It's a transitional place, right? And then you get to the other side. And listen, that person, no matter how much you teach, can only learn from their own life experiences. So now I'm a manager, right? And so I'm a solver. So I was solving problems all the time, and then like I'm proactive. And one time I realized if I solve this problem today, no one's ever going to realize there was ever a problem. So I let it happen so that people could see that this was a problem. So walking away from him and him dealing with it himself, he will find his way and he'll go through his own reaping and sowing. But you can't bring him through it. That's God that's got to do it.
you're right about that. That is the exact situation that I am in a point where I hold the supervisor role everywhere I go. I'm used to solving problems. So if you have a problem, let's solve it. If it's a problem, let's fix it. But you know,
Side note, if anybody's listening and they want to find their gift, think about, you know, like their spiritual gift, because I know a lot of people are, that's a thing now. Think about what you do in your carnal, your physical life: manager, supervisor, counselor, teacher. I know me, I was a teacher. Look what I'm doing in life.
teacher.
Think about that. Think about that. But
Yeah.
keep on. Go. Keep on.
Writer, teacher.
Right. Just think about those things and it'll come to you. But keep going. We're listening. I just had as soon as I get something that's downloaded to me, I really have to say it because you know how that is. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So if you guys don't mind, I would like sometimes when I talk to people, I tell them, well, strap up because we're gonna go for a ride. Right? I have experience in my lifetime of dealing with narcissistic abuse. The fact that even though we're not talking about a sexual nature, I have experienced someone trying to transfer or allow a demon to experience my light and understand it as that happening as it's happening. What in the French is that? Am I crazy?
You're not crazy.
Okay, because I got up the next morning and said I felt like y'all had a threesome with me because it was somebody else there. You
So
let
you're gonna have
somebody else experience me. You
you're gonna have
sacrifice
those
me.
Okay.
you're gonna have those experiences in your dreams, especially. And so what you're seeing is almost like a parasite is who's attached to him,
Yes, yes.
right? So it's almost like you know, in the German term for that is a doppelganger, right? So it's like it's the shadow version of his self or the demon version of himself, like the worst possible version of him. You know, because you're only seeing shades of it. Like there's just
Yeah.
little bits of it peeking out
Yeah.
every once in a while. Like the darkest shadow in the corner of the room will peek out when it's broad daylight, but that's deep darkness right there. And so, you know, we talk about this all the time on the show. Like, you know, pray up before bed, put on your spiritual armor, and ask for protection. You really have to do it.
Six, for
And,
sure.
and try not to sleep in the same bed if you can, which I know is probably hard.
And also, I
Right.
would also this is gonna hit a lot of people because so many people are plagued with this. What you're experiencing is a spirit spouse.
Right.
A spirit spouse comes from, it's a demon, comes from a marine kingdom.
It's true.
And what is happening is, I don't know if anybody had. Trisha Jacob says good night. Oh, good night, Trisha. For the last part, make sure you come in and listen to the last part. Everything's recorded. And thank you for being here, Trisha. Okay.
Bye, Trisha.
Bye.
Good
And
night.
what happens is, you know, that spirit spouse in the spirit realm, they will come to you at night. This is why you have men and women being R-worded. I can't say the word, you know what I mean? Assaulted, S-A, in their sleep.
It's a whole nother show, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm telling
I
you,
know,
it
yeah.
is.
And also, I mean, I never even wanted to go there, but since you said it, but
You know what? And that's the funny part, that I think that I understand that I need, or I should have, or I'm being pushed towards starting my own platform just to talk about certain things. And I'm finding that it's the things that women are a bit uncomfortable to talk about.
Yeah.
well, first you have to address what is going on, you know, with that. You know what I mean? Because you don't
True.
want to go up there and because I remember things like that used to happen like as a child. I mean, this is, you know, as when I was little.
True.
And so, you know, you have to be able to tell people how to get free.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and with something and with that type of subject, you have to go in the spirit realm, you pray, and you tell that thing. I call it a thing. I said that before on this channel. I call it the things
That's
that
okay.
you have no legal right to your body. They have none. And you also have to recognize what is giving it legal right. We talked about this so many times before. What's giving the legal right to come to you in your house where you're supposed to be this and that, you know? Why do you have the right to come here?
That's true.
Please let me know.
Don't you think it's a part of the whole thing that we're going through physically in the world? That
Same thing with the narcissist. When you ignore those red flags, because there are red flags everywhere you go.
It's everywhere, and it's so easy to get manipulated in that realm of
it is. But we have to take accountability.
Right.
We have to take accountability and say, you know what? I let this in.
Right.
I did it.
Right.
And yeah, that's the part I'm talking about. When you know for a fact, it's almost like when you get a flyer to go fight somebody and it's the biggest, baddest, whatever, and it's you over here holding on a little lighter guy. Like, you know what? I know you might beat me up, but I'm finna fight anyway, and I want to see. And I found that the things that I want to see is
I don't want to see.
I wanted to experience the experience.
Oh, I definitely don't listen.
But that's before I knew what I was experiencing, because I keep running into the same thing over and over and over again, and ego kicks in of why can I not beat this? So subconsciously, this is coming back over and over and over again to the point where I'm like, this is how I beat this.
The way out is through you.
Yes.
Right. So that's the thing. I mean, like, we try to fight the external or the spiritual, but like, once we're empowered within, and like, you know, once those soul fragments like are reforged, or those holes are repaired, like, there's just absolutely no way for any of that stuff to get near you. I mean, I had the weirdest day yesterday while I was trying to pick up my son. It was like torrential downpour, flood warning. I saw a car go through 4 lanes of traffic spinning.
Oh my goodness.
and not a single car got into an accident.
Wow.
What?
It was the most bizarre thing I had ever seen. Everybody slowed down in just the right amount of time. He turned around and then just started driving.
Oh.
And I'm not making this up. After I picked up my son, I saw a chicken crossing the road. It was not a chicken. It was a little dog. It was a Shih Tzu. A Shih Tzu crossing the other way of the highway. And like, I'm trying to stop. Everybody's trying to stop to help this dog. The dog's trying to jump over the barrier.
Oh my God.
I don't know what happened to the dog because like I just kept going. But then there was an accident this morning and there was an accident after. But my timing was always before the catastrophe.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
If that's not symbolism, I mean, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
You want to know
Dogs,
how far?
chickens. Remember that from the Dream Channel?
Okay.
Oh, that's right. And the dog.
I think of life now, and this is a crazy analogy. And those of us, I am in the age where I am 38 years old. I come from the Super Mario era of life, just period, right? Life is just like Super Mario Brothers. Like they have so many hidden boards, they have enemies. You have to pass the test. If you don't pass the board, you keep starting it over and over and over again. And this is just a funny thing that me and my friends sit down and we pull apart, when we're not doing anything at all. Because when you think about it, it's even secret boards, it's boards that everybody don't even know exist. It's all kinds of things like that. So the analogy of what he was just saying, like it's almost like having the star. When you get the star, you can go through anything. Anything could hit you and it can't touch you. You can keep on going. And if you can make it fast enough, you can get to the end of the board and not be touched. You can pass the test because you've been given the answers, because you have the intuition, because I give you the strength, because you can just go. If you trust me, you can just go. It's like having a star on Super Mario Brothers. And that's why it's funny that you refer to the gift as the light, or people see your star.
Yeah.
And
then I didn't make that up. That is actually the verse in there. That's the verse. It says, I've seen his star. And
that's
then also that was in Matthew. Then you have in Ezekiel where they're hunting souls. They're hunting souls in Ezekiel with pillowcases and all of that. I mean, this in the Bible. Like, this is not anything I'm making up because I'm trying to get. No, this is not anything like that.
But there were narcs back in the day then.
Oh,
there was all narking back. That was Narco Polo. That is definitely Narco Polo.
That's the original.
Chris, I love that analogy of Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers is a trip. Like, you have to really sit back and think about it, and you will see that everything about that applies to everyday life. Everything, even the biggies, the one-ups, where you have the information.
I love Mario. Did you see the movie where they
because I have kids. Yes, I love the new Mario. Oh my God. I have all boys and one girl, guys. So I'm a boy mom. Altogether, I have 7 sons and 1 daughter. So I understand the male ego to the maximum extent. And this is what causes me to be like, I know exactly who you are. And you don't believe I know who you are because you think that I'm not who I am. And it's a problem.
Then it's going to become a game for them. It's going to be competition now.
It's competition at all times. Testosterone is at an all-time high in my house, and it don't make no sense.
I cannot imagine, but because the boys, yeah.
I like the
girls
boys
today.
I like the boys. I have one daughter. She's 17, and she is my best. She is my everything. It's just me and her against everything. So even with me and my kids, I even have to.
The girls.
I do love them, but I'm in a process of unnarking my kids because even as we travel,
yes, that's right.
I have to unnark my kids from myself.
I don't know if you're ever in the TikToks. I started off doing children's videos because I am certified special ed teacher. So I started out on TikTok giving advice for, emotional or EBD children. So, I mean, maybe, and we're narcissists. Well, I'm going to just move right along here because it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, what's up, Michael?
Now, with everything, I want everyone to realize. Oh, Angie G. She says, when my ex demon moved in, I was over the moon happy. I began crying 3, 4, 5 times a day for no reason. Turns out my body and spirit knew before I did.
True, true,
You
true,
know what I mean? This
true.
is okay. Sometimes the narcissist not only comes, this is what's in my book, When Satan Plays Matchmaker, exploring the spiritual side of narcissism. It's in Kindle. Sometimes the narcissist comes with either a spirit of death, sickness, poverty. We talked about that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like with Angie, that when he moved in or whoever moved in, you were happy at first and crying 3, 4 times a day. That's the spirit. It's getting close to you. She said, haven't cried once since I threw him out. Wow. Wow.
Congratulations. That's
Oh,
what I'm trying to get.
what I'm saying.
Go,
Do
girl.
you okay? Do you see the proximity?
Yeah.
When you let someone get in your circle, it affects you.
Physically, emotionally.
It affects you.
Yeah.
As soon as the proximity matters.
It really does. I'm at a point where everything I do is blocked. I get up and I can't think straight. I
See?
can't concentrate. I can't focus on something. And mind you, I said I am a mother of 5 sons living in my house with 1 daughter. I have to always be on point.
Mhm.
I have
Yeah.
to always be aware.
Yeah,
I'm
because
not
he's trying to
ever
corrupt
elect.
the kids too. He's trying to corrupt the kids.
And you know what? I have been blessed with the best set of kids. I will put my 5 against anybody's 1. I have
Great, because they're
children that
behind
do
you.
not.
Now
They
that you
do not.
know, because the kids follow the mother.
They
No
do.
matter. They
And
follow
guess what? I have the best kids in the world. They will go to war behind me. They're not malicious. They don't cuss. They don't fuss. They don't fight. They're not sneaking out. It's no sex. It's no babies. It's no drugs. They don't even talk back. Ain't no rolling no eyes. I have the best kids ever.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I also understand that this particular light that I carry, it's been passed down to them. And it's like the ultimate juice drink
It's
of
not
great light that you could pull. And I see it and I don't like it because now I can see it. At first I couldn't because of my own whatever I wanted to think it was. But now that like I said, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
right.
God is pushing me somewhere. And I swear to God to you, I don't know how I'm going to get there. But I'm choosing to just go. I'm making the choice to just go.
Just hold on for the ride because it's gonna get good.
Hey, and the funny part about it is, like I say, I'm here for it. When life start lifing, I start, what's good. And that's the great thing I like about my personality is the fact that I haven't allowed these things to taint my faith or taint my ability to do what I do and be who I am.
And that's what the kids see. They see that in you.
My kids, they are just like me, and it is hilarious to sit back and watch, and just on a very silent level because I'm only 5'2". I'm 140 pounds. I'm not too big. I'm not beating nobody up, y'all. I'm not. I'm just from New Orleans, so I talk like that.
That's cute.
Hey, wasn't Annie? She's from New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
We have there's another person on my panel, and she is awesome. She couldn't be here today, but she is also from New Orleans.
You just showed up on my algorithm, as a matter of fact. And mind you, when I say I do nothing involved with technological anything, my kids do everything for me. If they're not inside, then I'm not watching TV because I don't know which one of these 3 remotes operates I don't know. So for me to even do this, I understand that this and that's when God got a greater plan, because I understand that what you may thought this was going to be is what it was going to be, but I needed to talk to y'all, girl.
Yeah, no. I didn't even have this show written. This is something different. I really thank everybody. And Donna Freeman, she says a narcissist will never change.
Never.
You
No.
fool
Never,
yourself
never,
if you think
never.
they will.
Mhm.
So,
Mm-mm.
any
I
last closing remarks? Go ahead.
love you guys.
Chris.
Thank you.
Go
I
ahead.
appreciate the opportunity. That's all.
Oh, thank you for being here. Make sure you tune in every Wednesday, 7 p.m. I'm always here on Eastern time. And
That's
then
cool.
anybody else?
Great show. Loved it.
Yeah, it's awesome show. Um, I had a weird experience this afternoon, like, and it was just, it's so weird because you brought this subject up today. So, like, if I'm leaving someplace at work, I'm almost like the police. Like, I like to like know my surroundings, so I sit in the corner of the room, and
Mhm.
I kind of sometimes just want to be like alone. So, like, I got to my car, and I thought one of my colleagues didn't see me, and he came over to my window and he started talking to me, and he was just like, I was like, oh, I didn't think you saw me. He's like, I can't mistake your energy. It's just there, right?
That's
Oh
right.
my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was just like, okay. I was like, I gotta be a little more guarded. So
No, oh my goodness.
Awesome.
That's creepy.
I don't
I
think
know,
it's
cause like
creepy. It's like the light again. You
No,
know.
but
I know.
people are marked in the spirit realm.
That's
Because
yeah.
people really can see that. I went to the Greyhound bus station one day, and we all know that the Greyhound bus station is where a lot of weirdos hang
Oh
out.
yes.
And when I was walking up the sidewalk, I felt I could see, like God allowed me to see the entities that were attached to these derelict people that
Yes.
saw my
Yep.
light. And I told my mama, I said, Ma, they trying to eat me. And she didn't know what I was talking about, but I saw it on their faces. I saw it in their eyes. I saw it in their mannerisms that they saw who I was for the
Mhm.
first time that had ever happened to me in life at a Greyhound bus station.
Wow.
So,
I believe
so this is where like Ephesians 6 is so important, because what is Ephesians 6 talking about? It's clothing. You're putting on clothing,
Yes.
right?
The
The
armor.
treading with the shoes of peace, right? So you're silent, nobody can hear you coming,
That's right.
right? You're being truthful. You have the breastplate of righteousness. When you're righteous, nothing can pierce you.
Come on now,
You
Mike.
have the heart of faith, right? That
Right.
shield of faith is very important, because then they can't get at you. You might be able to see them, but they can't come towards you. You have the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God.
The word of
That sword can be sharp if it needs to.
Uh-huh.
And the helmet of salvation, which will cover you,
That's
shield you so no one can see you.
That's right. You gotta wake up to it, and you gotta go
Oh
to
my
sleep to it.
gosh.
Wake up to
Listen,
that prayer.
Donna Friedman, she says narcissists carry the spirit of Jezebel and others. Also, listen, if you, because I'm in these YouTube streets,
Right.
and a lot of people just talk about Jezebel, Leviathan, Python. Okay, yes, but there's more than Jezebel. There's more than Leviathan. There's more than Python. There's so much more, and that is what I cover in my book.
Yes. I read that
You
book.
see the whole list. There's a list of demons
I
there
have an Asmodeus.
Six, yeah.
that manifest and are taking over these people. And you don't have to be actually possessed. A possession is a full-on takeover. But when you're oppressed, demonically oppressed, that's just part of your soul, your mind, will, intellect. That's
I
not.
call it being hijacked.
Yeah, you don't have
You
to
can
be
even
full
see
on
people who are
hijacked.
hijacked. Like you can know that that's a physical person, but that's not a person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can see things like that, and torture is almost like the gift and a curse will torture you, because it's very scary the amount of people that walk around with these spirits on them. It's unbelievable.
It is.
So,
No,
so
it is. Go ahead.
Chris, be prepared that like one of your kids is going to have the gift too. So you're going to have to guide them.
You know what? I am seeking out which one, and since it's so many and I don't know which one, I talk loud enough in the house that everybody could hear me. I don't whisper anything.
It'll be all of them.
It's gonna be everybody, lottie
That's
dottie,
right.
everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every last one of them.
Yes.
I don't know who
That's a
had the
fact.
gift in my family, because I'm the only child.
Right. Right.
But I don't know who had the actual gift of seeing in that, But you can definitely see in the spirit realm, and I mean, you just get you. Not to say you get used to it, because who wants to get used to seeing?
It only makes it harder because you definitely have to choose whether you want to be ha 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 fake or you want to be like, you're a demon, get away.
No, I just get away from them because I could
It
see.
makes it difficult because I'm a Power Ranger all the time now. I'm just a Power Ranger. I'm fighting everything. Everybody gets it.
Yeah, I definitely, as a kid, I told you guys before, when I was a child, I was, when I say I lived in a haunted house,
Right.
I saw everything,
Wow.
everything.
Wow.
Now as an adult, I see everything. I see everything,
Yeah.
and it makes it very difficult. That's why I appreciate. I know it's time to go. It's time to wrap up, but I
Yeah.
appreciate this interaction. This was
And
an
thank
act of
you so
God.
much. And make sure you definitely, tune in. Every Wednesday I'm here at 7 p.m. And also, guys, make sure that to complete Donna Freeman, she said, I've studied both sides. I do not pity none of my. This is what I'm saying. I don't pity them.
No.
I have no
You can't.
pity.
You can't.
Just like how when the Most High said, go and slay the Amalekites, have no pity.
Have no
I
pity.
have no pity.
Said it.
None whatsoever.
We can't because they're swindlers. They're liars.
I don't anymore. I'm
That's
good.
a different that's a different line.
Mhm.
We don't. This is not our line. That's not our lineage.
That's
Guys,
a fact.
please forgive me.
Bye.
You.
Yeah. Okay. So just to wrap up here. And thank you, Donna, for that comment. She said, in the least, if they're aware or not. So thank you so much. Okay, so we're gonna end this. Oh my goodness, tonight was listen,
Excellent.
I told y'all. I told you. And here's the kicker. I said, you know what? I don't really feel like doing the show.
But
I said, that's the devil. My mind, my real mind said, no,
yeah,
do it.
yeah,
You see how much revelation was
yes,
given tonight?
yes. It always is.
Man,
Oh my
just a single seed of doubt is just as strong as a mustard seed. Let me tell you.
gosh.
We pushed through. We started in the beginning saying we're gonna push through it, and here we are. Strong as it is a mustard seed. That's right.
Wow. This might have been one of the best shows that we've had
Yeah,
on this panel. What do you think?
I believe so. Loved it.
It's just getting better every time.
That's right. I concur.
Oh my goodness.
Every time you get more of a revelation every show. More of a revelation. Like, wait a
Listen,
minute.
y'all,
I didn't believe that.
when I was doing the notes for the show, I said, it just kept coming to my head. I had no clue what I was going to talk about today until about 2:00 this afternoon.
Hey, that's fine.
But usually I'm like more prepared.
Because say he will reveal himself.
Oh my goodness!
You've
Wow.
you've had your whole life to prepare for this.
That's right.
For such a time as this, like Esther.
That's right.
She said, such a time as this, I felt that. Okay, y'all, we're just gonna. Oh, I wonder how the other mic is doing.
Oh yeah. Hope he's good.
Yeah.
Like he was a little off, but he was.
Remember Michael, the other mic?
Yeah, he was having. It sounded like he was having like a real tough time, like the last time we talked.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going through something. Like he's trying to get through something. So we're gonna pray for him.
Yes, that's really
Absolutely.
for real. For real, we have to pray for him, and keep him lifted up.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, oh my goodness, Father, I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful, Father.
Yes.
And we come to you with praise and thanksgiving and a heart of repentance. Father, your word says that our people perish for lack of knowledge. Father, open our eyes, mind, and soul, and our heart to the knowledge. For you also know that we're hungry for this knowledge. And we want to be healed. We want to be whole. We want to be healed. And according to Proverbs 9:11, you said in your word
Mm.
that through this knowledge will the just be delivered. Father, we stand on your word. We stand on it.
That's right. You said.
Warrior angels, locate, reconnect, cleanse,
Mhm.
and return all our stars, all our destinies,
Yes.
all our purposes,
Yes.
locate it and return it in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, or who the world calls Jesus of Nazareth. Father, all illegal holders of our stars,
That's right.
release our stars now.
Yes.
Release it and return it to us.
Yes.
Return our purpose. Return our destiny
Mm.
now.
Mm.
Visit the foundations of our life and every wrong that the enemy has done to us. Revisit it. Father, please forgive us for our sins. Forgive us. And Father, we pray right now
Mm.
and we decree and declare
Declare.
that our stars cannot work or manifest in anyone that who is not supposed to.
Mhm.
Only us, only our vessel, only the vessel that you gave that star to.
Mhm.
Return it back to us. Father, please, we are asking,
Yes.
connect our soul fragments, connect our soul,
Yes.
connect all the trauma pieces that have been indwelled in this atmosphere. Bring it back in the
Yes.
name of your son.
Mm.
Bring it back, please. We are repentant. We love you and we thank you.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you so much, Father, for giving us this knowledge in this platform.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much.
you.
Because without you, I mean, we are nothing.
Yes.
We are absolutely nothing. Restore our families, restore our time wasted. And
Mm-mm-mm.
we love you so much, Father. Thank you.
I mean,
I mean,
Amen.
I mean,
whew.
Pop, hold on, wait a minute now. Poppy, you listen here. Poppy, you late. You gotta come in. Wait, what time zone are you in?
I see Poppy came. Poppy said, "What's up?"
Wait a minute. What time zone are you? You must be on the West
Oh,
Coast.
he probably had to go to work. He probably late.
Yeah, okay. I'm so late now. Okay, we catch you on the replay. I'm so happy you're here. All right, guys.
All right.
Everybody, thank you so much. And also, if you want to know more, if you want to know more about this, yes, you're a little late.
See
If
you
you want
next
to know more about soul fragmentation,
Mm.
soul stealing, and the soul, just in general, I talked more about that on Kingdom Keys teaching. If you go on my YouTube, just scroll down. It's the other channel that I run. And also make sure you go get the book because I cover all of everything in my book.
Yes.
Satan Meets Matchmaker.
Yes.
Exploring the spiritual side of narcissism. Please. I'm in the what is this? I'm in the 6. What's that? What's the 6? If any what is the 6? Anybody could listen. I'm am I old now? I don't know what the 6 is.
I don't know what that is.
Am I officially old now?
I don't know. I don't know. I must be ancient because I have no idea.
Oh, ancient. Michael, do you know? Oh,
That's-
Toronto. Oh, that's cool.
I've been old since I was 14. So
Oh, shut up. That's so fun. Oh, okay. Toronto. That's
Oh,
wonderful. That's my second home.
Toronto.
Toronto. What are you
Nice.
doing? Oh, you might have been, doing something. All right. Okay, y'all. Hey, I love you guys, each and one of you. You don't understand. I'm just so hyped about this message because guess what? This was not the message I was supposed to send today.
It was totally awesome.
This was not in the notes. This was not in anything.
Awesome.
Any of it.
Those are the best ones when you just going with it. Going with going with the spirit. That's awesome.
Toronto. Okay. All righty. All right. Everybody have a very good night. Thank you. Thank you once again for coming to our channel, our community. And thank you so much for listening to Narcissistic. Have a good night. See you again next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.